Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Hunter x Hunter Institute. Whether you're a seasoned subscriber or a brand new viewer, we're thrilled to have you here for an exhilarating exploration into the thrilling world of Hunter x Hunter. Now let's talk about the Dark Continent, a place shrouded in mystery, danger, and untold treasures. It's an unlisted territory that humanity has dared to venture into, only to be confronted with unimaginable horrors. These horrors, my friends, are what we call the 5 threats. Trust me when I say they are no ordinary beings or diseases. We're talking about threats that could wipe out humanity in a heartbeat. But fear not, we, the fearless researchers of the Hunter x Hunter Institute, are here to guide you through this treacherous journey. In today's video, we're gonna dive headfirst into the danger rankings of these 5 threats. So, my fellow researchers, whether you're a seasoned pro or a wide-eyed newcomer, I want you to prepare yourselves for this adventure. Grab your popcorn, get cozy, and let's delve into the perilous realm of the 5 threats. After watching this video, I want to hear your thoughts, theories, and reactions in the comments below. Your engagement fuels our passion, and together, we'll continue to celebrate the greatness of Hunter x Hunter. Without further ado, let the excitement begin. In volume 33 of the manga, we got some very interesting details about the organization in charge of overseeing the journey to the Dark Continent. And guess what? They've got this mind-blowing list called the Statistics of the 5 Threats. You might be asking just what this list is. It's actually a list that determines the level of danger posed by the 5 threats. These statistics take into account 4 key parameters: ferocity, number, fertility, and destructivity. And based on these factors, a comprehensive danger level is assigned to each creature. They use a ranking system from A to E, with A being the most urgent and mind-bogglingly dangerous. But wait, it gets even more interesting. In this list, they've included the danger levels of humans, both as individuals and nations for reference. So, let's take a peek at the danger level of humans as individuals. Brace yourself. We've got ferocity at C, number at E, fertility at C, and destructivity ranging from B to E, giving us an overall danger level of C. That's right, fellow fans, humans are no pushovers when it comes to threats. Here's the really fun part: the meanings behind each rank from A to E. I won't bore you with all the definitions for each parameter like ferocity and destructivity, but I can't resist sharing the mind-blowing details of the A and B rankings, which are directly related to the 5 threats. Buckle up, because this is where things get super intense. So, A-ranked creatures are the ones that need to be eliminated urgently. But here's the catch: hunters haven't figured out the exact methods to exterminate them yet. It's like a real-life mystery waiting to be solved. And guess what? It's gonna take a whole lot of global cooperation to bring these beasts down. We're talking about a worldwide effort. Let's move on to the B-ranked creatures. They also require immediate extermination, and the methods to do so have been identified. But hold your horses, because it's not that simple. These creatures come with a hefty cost and high risk. We're talking about national and international coordination to tackle these bad boys. It's not the same as rank A, but it's still going to be a full-scale operation. What does all of this mean? Well, it's crystal clear that the 5 threats demand urgent extermination, and the key lies in international collaboration. Each nation must put their heads together to save the world. The only difference is whether they've discovered effective strategies to deal with them. If these creatures get to the known world, it's doomsday potential on a global scale. Scary stuff, right? But hey, let's not stop there. Let's talk about the Chimera ants, one of the most jaw-droppingly dangerous and interesting creatures in the series. I mean, we've got to compare the 5 threats to something to get a better picture, right? The danger level of the Chimera ants is ranked at B, but here comes the big reveal. The 5 threats surpass the Chimera ants with a whopping B+, or even the mind-blowing A-level danger. Can you believe it? These threats are on a whole new level of terrifying. Just think about it. The Chimera ants were ruthless killers, devouring countless lives and evolving at an alarming rate. They even acquired net abilities and took down our beloved Netero. It was thanks to the incredible Komugi that humanity stood a chance. She awakened something within Meruem, and he found a purpose beyond mindless slaughter. I'm telling you, without Komugi, the world would have been toast. Meruem, with Neferpitu by his side, could have wiped out most of the world's hunters. It's mind-boggling to think about it. Even with powerful hunters like the Zodiacs, they would have been hanging by a thread, don't you think? So, with a danger level of B, the Chimera ants were already terrifying. But the 5 threats are on a whole different level. They're telling us that these calamities are even more dangerous than everything we've seen in the series. It's like a never-ending roller coaster of excitement and dread. Now that we've covered all that information, let's dive into the rankings of the 5 threats themselves. Get ready. 5th place, weapon Brion, danger level B+. We're going to talk about the enigmatic weapon known as Brion. It's this mysterious spherical object with no face on top and a human-like figure below. Talk about bizarre, right? This thing appears in the deserted city during the mission to collect healing herbs for all diseases. The special forces of the United States of Sahara tried to take it down, but they got wiped out, leaving only 2 survivors. The victims of Brion were found with their faces ripped off and their stomachs torn open. It's a gruesome sight, I tell you. Now here's the interesting part. Brion has a ferocity level of B, destructivity of A, and fertility of B. It's almost the same as the Chimera ants. It's an aggressive and combative creature that actively attacks. And get this, depending on the circumstances, its danger level can go from B+ to A. Just like with the Chimera ants, we're looking at the potential for a massive war here, folks. But here's the twist. Brion differs from the Chimera ants in one crucial aspect: number. While the Chimera ants ranked at B, Brion comes in at a lower level C with a significantly smaller number. However, its fertility matches that of the Chimera ants. So, what does this mean? Although the Brions do have the same reproductive capabilities as the Chimera ants, they still have a big difference. Brions operate in smaller groups, possibly in tens or dozens, forming numerous organizations or hundreds of groups. Unlike the Chimera ants, where it was all about taking down the king, Brion's groups scatter and move independently. Dealing with them is going to be a real headache. Can you imagine the chaos of battling multiple Brion groups all over the place? It's going to require some serious strategy and coordination to handle this menace. We're talking about a whole new level of complexity here. So, let's keep our eyes peeled and see how our favorite characters will tackle this challenging situation, if we ever do get to see them fight with the Brions. 4th place, Immortal Disease, Zobae Disease, Danger Level B+. This time, let's talk about the dreaded Zobae disease. It's known as the immortality disease that oozes despair while teasing us with a glimmer of hope. With its patient's darkened appearance and the fact that they can't die, some speculate that they resemble zombies. How crazy is that? These patients survive without consuming any food, relying solely on themselves for over 50 years. Can you believe it? Talk about resilience. But here's the thing. The Kakanyu Kingdom, accompanied by Beyond, ventured off the beaten path in search of the alchemical plant Metallion and fell victim to this horrendous disease. Only 6 individuals, including some hunters, managed to survive the Zobae disease ordeal. It's a tough battle, guys. With a ferocity level of C, number ranking at E, fertility at B, and destructivity at B, this disease is no joke. Here's the mind-blowing part. Since we count the number of patients affected by the Zobae disease, the number of the disease itself stands at a single entity, E. However, the fertility can potentially reach an astonishing level of A, with rapid and explosive growth under certain conditions. Can you imagine it surpassing even the Chimera ants in terms of reproductive power? Talk about a nightmare scenario. The destructivity is marked as B2, implying that the damage inflicted by this disease is incurable throughout one's lifetime. It aligns perfectly with the idea of an immortal illness. But there's one thing that bothers me: the mix of C and A in terms of ferocity. According to the Zobae disease section, the mention of C1 indicates individual variations among patients. It could be influenced by their personalities, traits, or even their susceptibility to the disease. As for A2, it suggests that the actions of these creatures pose a danger to the lives of the majority, including potential aggression and contact that could result in the loss of other people's lives. Isn't this a grim revelation? However, the overall assessment still lands at B+, so there must be some sort of countermeasure. But from what we can see in the response to Zobae disease patients, it seems that the extent of the action is limited to isolation. That's the impression we get, but what do you think? Make sure to let us know in the comments. 3rd place, Beast Tamer Pap, Danger Level A. Jumping to the next creature, Pap. This mysterious black beast comes with the intriguing promise of exchanging pleasures for life. It stabs something into the human head and manipulates them like a wrinkled doll. But here's the kicker, folks. We haven't even seen its true form yet. The images leave us hanging in suspense. The Bejeros Union sent a whopping 1,000-member expedition to acquire the legendary unmanned rock, a mineral that generates 20,000 kilowatts of power simply by submerging it in water. But hold your breath, because here's where things take a dark turn. The team encountered the wrath of Pap, leaving only a mere 7 survivors. Talk about a nerve-wracking encounter. Pap's ferocity level is marked as A, and when it comes to number and fertility, we're left with question marks. Its destructivity, however, sits at a solid B. But let's focus on that ferocity level, folks. It's A2, meaning the creature's behavior poses a serious threat to the lives of the majority, possibly on par with or even exceeding the Chimera ants. This is some serious business. Let's talk about that B1 destructivity. While the conditions for avoiding it are somewhat defined, mind, failure could result in severe damage and a high probability of death. It's a bit lower than what we saw with the Chimera ants, but that's still nothing to scoff at. From the concept of exchanging pleasure for life, we can deduce that it depends on what kind of pleasure you choose, as it determines whether your life will be taken away. It's a risky game, my fellow fans, a risky game indeed. But here's the twist. The number and fertility of pap remain a big question mark. However, considering the information about pap staking claim to an entire mountain range as its territory and obliterating a research team of 1,000 members, we can speculate that there's a substantial number of paps out there. Among the 5 threats, this particular entity has managed to maintain an air of mystique that keeps us on the edge of our seats. What secrets does it hold? What powers lie dormant within? It's a puzzle waiting to be unraveled. Second place, Gas Lifeform I, Danger Level A. Let's talk about the creature known as I, that comes with the tagline of codependence of desires. This enigmatic being is often referred to as a gas life form, existing without a physical form. Now let's get into one of the most famous theories out there. If you're watching this, then you all know about Killua's sister, Alika, and her alter ego, Nanika. This theory suggests that Nanika's true identity is none other than I. Nanika has the ability that grants people's wishes, but inflicts calamity upon them afterward. The magnitude of the calamity is directly proportional to the size of the wish fulfilled. Talk about a double-edged power, right? In a chilling example, after fulfilling a wish to become a billionaire, 67 people lost their lives. This threat struck fear into the hearts of even the Zoldyck family, who ended up confining Alika. But here's the juicy bit. In volume 33 of the manga, there's a little spoiler hidden away. On the back page of chapter 341, alongside the words "From the Dark Continent," a depiction of Nanika is found. Oh boy, the plot thickens. Considering Nanika's relationship with Alika, we can infer that I, being a mist-like organism, survives by possessing humans or other creatures rather than having a tangible form. Its overall danger level is ranked at the highest grade, in A. It boasts an A in ferocity as well, and the number and fertility are still unknown, marked as a question mark. As for destructivity, it ranges from A to B. Let's talk about the A2 ferocity rating. It signifies that the actions of this entity put the lives of the majority of humans in danger, equaling or surpassing the threat posed by the Chimera ants. As for the destructivity, it's defined within a broad range from A to B, probably influenced by the magnitude of the wish made to I and the subsequent calamity that unfolds. However, observing the fact that Nanika inadvertently took 67 lives with a single wish, just imagine if someone were to make a much larger wish like exterminate an entire nation. The subsequent calamity could surpass the level of a mere disaster, don't you think? And if there were no limitations on the magnitude of the wish, it's possible that I possesses the power to annihilate not just humanity, but even the entire world. What do you make of I and its codependence of desires? Do you have any theories or insights to share? Drop them in the comments below. First place, Twin-Tailed Snake Herbel, Danger Level A. Hold on to your hats because it's time to talk about the top-ranked threat, Herbel. Herbel is a monstrous creature known for infecting others with a murderous intent. It has the appearance of a regular venomous snake, but with 2 tails. If you're ever on the quest to get the coveted nitro rice, a special food that grants incredible longevity, then you're bound to cross paths with this wicked being. The Federation of Ochima dispatched a massive unit to acquire nitro rice, but they couldn't even reach the marshland where Herbel resides. In the end, a staggering 99% of the team perished, leaving only 11 survivors. Talk about an intense and deadly encounter. In terms of danger level, Herbel indisputably takes the crown with an overall grade of A. The number and fertility are marked with question marks, indicating unknown information. However, both ferocity and destructivity are labeled as A, making Herbel the only calamity to achieve the highest grade in both categories. That's why it's claimed the top spot. The A1 ferocity means Herbel is aggressively inclined to attack, much like the Chimera ants. As for the A2 destructivity, it inflicts irreparable damage that hampers daily life and leaves lasting consequences. Additionally, considering its ability to infect others with a murderous intent, which is its distinctive trait, one can speculate that it possesses a power similar to that of a manipulator-type Nen user, controlling the consciousness of others and driving them to kill each other. Mind-blowing, right? Although Herbel may appear to be a mere snake in terms of its physical appearance, it may not possess a high individual combat capability. However, with an undeniable overall danger level of A, once infected, the potential for an infinite chain of murderous virus intent spreading from one person to another is incredibly high. We don't have exact numbers, but even if there were only one Herbel, once an infection occurs, it could turn into a nightmarish scenario resembling a biohazard, with rampant transmission and people killing each other left and right. It's a chilling image, isn't it? Just imagine if there were 100 of them. The speed of infection will multiply, making the spread even more rapid. From this perspective, the ease with which the infection can propagate adds to the higher level of danger and threat posed by Herbel. It's a catastrophic situation waiting to happen. And that wraps up our ranking of the 5 threats and their terrifying levels of danger. Can you believe that each one is considered more perilous than the Chimera ants? It's absolutely bone-chilling, isn't it? To think that the Dark Continent houses at least 5 creatures that surpass the threat of the Chimera ants, it's hard to fathom if humanity can truly conquer that treacherous land. The power of Beyond, Jing, and the Zodiacs leaves us wondering just how effective they'll be. But hey, let's keep our spirits high for the Dark Continent expedition. If you're as psyched as I am, you've already become part of the prestigious Hunter x Hunter Institute. Get ready for more amazing content as we continue to spread the love for our favorite series. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and join our adventure-filled family. That's a wrap for today, our awesome viewers. Stay tuned for our next epic video. Until then, keep the hunter spirit burning bright.